So, spawning in the top left corner of Romanticide, we do have our green Protoss player. He is Primal. Spawning in the bottom right corner of Romanticide, it's our orange Terran player, Shakyor. And I need to remind myself to look at the clans after this match. Looks like Primal's going to go for a Reaper wall here. So I think Romanticide might actually be kind of my favorite map that came from the last map pool. I know everyone's kind of sick of having the same maps for so long, but of the ones we kept, I'm glad we kept this one. I really like this map for whatever reason. Pretty easy to get up to 3 bases, but once you're going for that 4th base, it can get a little tricky because everything's a little bit exposed. This is a little exposed. This maybe not so much, but it's pretty far away from your natural. Ooh, look at that. Shakyor trying for the eBay block, but he's going to be slow there. This is... I'm not exactly sure what this opening is from Primal, right? Because it's not the common, like, 20 Nexus. He went for 18 Nexus, but it doesn't look like... It also doesn't look like the parting opener exactly, so... Maybe this is just the build he's got the early Nexus to make sure he doesn't get Engineering Bay blocked. I'll have to look at the replay on this one at some point. So it's going to be factory first for Shakyor here, but only with a single gas, so I'm expecting a couple Hellions, I think. He's going to go ahead and plonk down his own command center. Okay, so maybe this is the parting, a version of the parting twister. But there's no 3rd gateway. Interesting. I think he chronoed the unit instead of the warp gate, right? So Shakyor's onto him. I think he might have something in be since he saw that Nexus early, he's thinking something's going on.
Additional supply
And he's gonna find that. Not gonna be able to kill it. Two Hellions are going to go straight across the map to try to punish. We do have the 1 Stalker here. No shield battery or anything, so they definitely can kill some probes. Stalker doesn't kill them too fast. Going to go straight in the main to see what's happening. He's going to see these warp gates finishing. Going to be able to get 3 probes to start. Going to be quite a few more, I believe. He warps in Stalkers at home. But this is any sort of pressure the Protoss wants to put on is going to be delayed by quite a bit. Looks like we're going to have maybe a blink follow-up, I suppose. And this is just going to kind of turn into 3-gate blink pressure. We'll see what he warps in next, if it's Stalkers or if it's Adepts. Oh, he lets him in. What happened there? Didn't he raise that depot? I think he raised the depot and then maybe tried to raise this one and accidentally lowered this one again. But the shade doesn't finish, so no big deal. So more Adepts. See if they're going to finish this shade. Oh, he should have raised that. They're going to finish this one for sure. That's going to be a lot of damage because all the units are down at the natural. Should think about recalling maybe. Oh no. Gonna stay in here and see what else he can get done. Pick off a couple Marines, but just gonna lose a few Adepts for it. This time, The shade is stopped. Ooh, can they pick off this tank? Can the tank shoot there? I think these two are inside the minimum range for the tank. Oh, just barely. Good save on the repair there. So a decent amount of damage done. There's definitely a significant worker advantage now for Primal. In the meantime, looks like I was definitely wrong about Blink. He's going to go for a Dark Shrine follow-up. Looks like a good call because there is no engineering bay. And since he killed a lot of workers, his opponent might be using all of his energy on the mules. One thing I'd say is I do think Primal needs to continue to get damage done because in a straight-up fight, I think right now Shakyor's army is a little bit better. And Primal hasn't gone for a third Nexus yet or anything, so... It looks like we went straight into an Archon. He's going to come straight across the map. Charge is going to be done. How many gateways do we have? I think we still only have... Oh no, we're up to 8. So warping in 8 zealots at a time might be able to handle this, but looks like the rest of the army just going to kind of go straight across. About to be in a base trade sort of scenario. This DT actually might be saving the day. Not enough scans to handle DTs at home and DTs across the map, I guess. So Terran base is being ravaged. This is kind of his only chance. But how long are his orbitals going to be up for to be able to scan anything? Tank goes down, so we're just down to Marines. Do we have any scan energy? Getting close. There's a single scan. He kills one DT, but there's going to be at least one more DT just waiting for that scan, and yeah, that is a GG. So game 1 goes to Primal. Hey Mitch, how's it going? So update our little score here. So it was an interesting opener out of Primal. It looked very... It was some sort of variation on what I call the parting twister. I just call it that because parting's the first one I saw use it. But it wasn't quite the same build, so I don't know if that's something that Primal's developed on his own, or what there. Because it definitely hit later than Parting's version. So we are in the lobby for match 2, or map 2. This one's going to be on Lightshade. Gonna go right into it. And I forgot to look at the clan names again. Shame on me. Alright. Spawning in the bottom right corner of Jagannatha, taking a very technical game 1. We have our green Protoss player, Primal. Spawning in the top left of Lightshade, hoping for a different result this game. We have our orange Terran player, Team Phoenix. He is Shakyor. See, he doesn't have his team name there. Team Phoenix. Anyways. So we're going to pay a little bit closer attention this time. Yeah, so it is a 17 Nexus. So that's definitely how the parting build starts. But parting doesn't make this next probe. He takes that, and then he takes gas before he starts the next probe. So close, but not exactly the way parting does it. So let's see if Shakyor is going to try to eBay block again, or if he's just looking for the scout. I know this spot. This is a proxy location right here. There goes a pylon, going to be a gateway right here, and you can warp in down on the low ground. So we're going to see something very similar to last game. Again, I think it's... If Parting's version is done perfectly, you can warp in at 318. But even taking the second assimilator and putting probes on it is going to delay the warp in time by a tad. But yeah, ideally you can have 5 adepts in one stalker or 6 adepts at... You can start the warp in at 318. So again, Shakyor knows something's up. He's looking around. He obviously doesn't play much Protoss because this is like the best proxy spot in any map. Probably where you should check first most games. Seeing that really late probe should also give him a pretty strong indication of what's going on. So we got a bunker going down in the front. Might have preferred to see it here just so you can guard the mineral line a little bit better, because that's where these adepts are going to be shading. And let's see what his response is up here. He's going up for 3 racks. I think he might struggle a little bit to deal with the first wave of adepts, but once he gets all 3 racks producing, he should be able to kind of stabilize. So we'll see how much damage he takes in the first part. You see it's about 11-12 seconds late on the warp ins there. But still, it's a pretty strong timing, because 5 adepts can take 5 marines pretty easily. Not going to shade immediately for the mineral line, but yeah, he is going to be able to get down here. And now you can see why this bunker is a little bit out of place, because you can't really guard anything in the mineral line from there. So Adept's just going to sit here and wait to try to pick a fight. Should be spawning in a couple extra, I believe. And he went ahead and actually made... I guess he used that next warp in at home, which I kind of disagree with. I feel like if you've gone up to 8 Adepts here, you can still take this fight, still be denying mining time. At some point you have to stop and warp in at home to deal with things like wood mine drops and all that, but turns out this game he's not going to need that. So the follow-up is again going to be Dark Shrine, so basically the exact same build out of Primal. And we're going to see if Shakyor is ready for it this time. He does have missile turrets at each base, which is going to be a humongous help. And overall, I think Shakyor's defense has been better this game. He's only down 8 workers instead of like, what was it, like 16, 17 last game? So coming across the map here with combat shields and stim finished. So just a small amount of bio actually is a significant threat against the Stalker Adept. And some of these adepts are out of place, so this could be a dead natural. Yeah, only a couple of units at home. There's no shield batteries or anything. Primal kind of taken completely by surprise here. He's going to lose a whole lot of probes at minimum. He's still warping in his infrastructure. Oh, and he misses the force field, so the bio is able to get right up. Going to finish taking out all of these probes. He's got kind of free reign on the units warping in. There is one DT out finally. Is there a scan available, or does he even notice there's a DT? Not sure yet. He depowers that. He does get a scan in. So I think Primal's going to end up holding here, but that was a really expensive hold. Yeah, and he just it was just no vision exactly on the middle of the map, and that bio just walked right through. So at this point, you got to say I think Shakyor's in a pretty strong lead. Even got some bio at home waiting for those DT drops. Pretty good shout, I'd say. So I think as long as he doesn't get killed by some really sneaky DT sort of stuff, I think he's... You gotta give this game... Give the advantage in this game to Shakyor. Like, this third base not gonna last very long. Oh, not even gonna get started. But remember, this game, he does have the missile turrets, so not gonna have to be relying only on scans. Primal kind of sharking around. He definitely feels like he needs to get some sort of damage done. Shakyor deciding not to take any chances. If I could offer a slight criticism, I'd say maybe he could be building a few extra workers while he's building the third command center so he can have enough workers to just transfer over when he's done. Because since he hasn't been building workers, Primal's kind of starting to catch up. So Primal basically just waiting, I think, for Shakyor to move out so he can try to come in behind and punish. Ooh, War Prism's going to die there. Does manage to get the Archon out, so it's going to get some kills for sure. Looks like Primal's also going to shade into the natural. Going to be killing several more SCVs, but what's at home to stop this humongous Bioforce on the other side? Not a lot. He is going to get a few Archons out, and those power units are going to make a difference. Looks like the Archon up here was taken out. Adepts are going to finish the shade. A little citizens arrest here by the SCVs. This third's definitely going to have to be canceled. Oh, good scan right there. He does get a DT with that. Let's see if he can do a little bit of kiting against these Archons. They're starting to fall pretty quickly. The Zealots not being able to get much done either. All the power units are kind of dying. No more DTs being warped in. So I think this might be a dead natural again, and probably the game for Shakyor. Last hope, another DT. Is there another scan? Yeah, we do have a scan this time, and that's GG, yeah. So well done there by Shakyor. Let's go back to our intermission. Tied up. Yeah, definitely thought these two might be a good match for each other. So 1-1, that's exciting. We get more than 3 games minimum. Let's see what chat had to say about that game. Platinum Heroes and Team Phoenix. Thank you. Yeah, he may not have actually seen the Dark Shrine that time, but he played against the Dark Shrine last game, so I think probably he was expecting it as a possibility. Because Primal did basically the exact same build two games in a row. So interesting to see in Game 3 if Primal just thinks this is a perfectly good all-around build, or if he's gonna pull something else out of his bag of builds. Sorry, we just got the wrong map loaded up, so we're remaking the lobby. You think it would be easy to make lobbies after a game's been out for 11 years, but sometimes you still get errors. So yeah, kind of the brute force build there from Shakyor, just going straight into hold on, I might have to relog here. Okay, 1 second. Gonna try to relog into BattleNet. There we go. Okay, sorry about that short delay. We are getting straight into map 3. Pillars of Gold. Alright, best of 5. Each player with 1 map. Spawning in the top right corner of Pillars of Gold, playing for Team Phoenix. Very kind of straightforward punch your opponent in the mouth build last game, and it worked. He is Shakyor. The bottom left corner of Pillars of Gold, playing for Platinum Heroes. Do have our green Protoss, Primal. And we gotta pay close attention and see if he goes for the 17 Nexus proxy again. I kind of don't feel like it should be an every game build, but Primal's a far better player than me, so I'd like to see maybe he thinks so. And it already looks like no, he's gonna try something different this game. So worked once, failed once. You know, let's move on to something else. Oh, let's turn our music on, just to help entertain you fine folk out there in the stream. It's okay. You can boo me along with Mitch if you like. I know it comes from a place of love, Mitch. So Reaper walls every game. I do like that out of Primal. Something I should probably do. There's a little minor delay here on the CC, so that's always good to see. If Primal knows his timings, he should know that this is Reaper first instead of Marine first. But yeah, so far this is just looking kind of more standard than what our last couple games were. Oh, a little bit of a supply block for Primal, actually. A little bit of a supply block. I think it's going to be okay because the Reaper wall is going to kind of save him from any damage. Could have been 1 or 2 probe kills otherwise, but... So Primal staying aggressive. Maybe it wasn't a supply block. Maybe he was waiting to get the robo down. Oh, Shakyor, is he going to find this? Oh, just barely misses. I was going to say, if he finds that immediately, that's impressive.
SCV ready.
So, what manner of proxy is this going to be? I don't actually know. I think probably just the Prism, maybe? Or maybe Immortal and Prism? Immortal first. Let's see, what does Shakyor have going on at home? Getting that safety bunker. He is scouting everywhere. But he's not going to find... At least not yet, going to find that proxy. No player cam, so we can't see the look on his face, but he is definitely going to find it eventually. So now he knows kind of what's up. Let's see what his response is going to be. Going straight for a tank. Did he cancel a starport? No, he finished the starport. Bunker in the main as well. Another bunker at the natural. And I like this. I think this is important, getting the Viking out to try to shoo away. I'm assuming there's going to be a Prism next. Yep. 2 Immortals in the Prism. Can be very annoying, but luckily for the Terran player, Immortals don't shoot up, so the Viking will be able to shoo this out eventually. Probably going to lose a couple buildings and maybe a few workers in the meantime. Pretty quick third for Primal, actually, to go along with this build, so... He's not all in, he's transitioning. This is just some sort of committed pressure. Need to get the Viking on that Prism kind of ASAP. That's going to kind of shut it down. He's not going to be able to stay around here for too long, but... In the end, he does keep all of his units alive, which is important too. It'll be a little bit unfortunate he's going to lose this robo for sure. But, not the end of the world. So behind this, transitioning, getting up into 6-7 gateways and blink. I saw a Raven on the way, so probably looking at a 7-minute Raven push. Could be a little bit tricky of a push for Primal, because he's not going to have any splash damage ready in time, I don't think. He might be able to sneak out an Archon or 2. But no Colossus, no Storm, no Disruptor. So 3rd CC almost done. I think this push should be moving out just about now. Although he is just now starting +1, so... Maybe it's going to be a little bit longer before he gets here. Observer's getting a good scout on everything. It looks like this, unfortunately, these buildings are going to go down without a fight. And now we have Stalker Immortal. That's a pretty scary army from Primal. But he doesn't have a way to get on top of the tanks, so... If he can get the Immortals onto the tanks, I think he can take this fight pretty easy, but if he if he walks into a siege line, he's going to take too much damage. So I guess Shakyor taking a look at that army, kind of feeling the same as me, that is a little bit scary. Doesn't want to go all the way with the push. It's possible that maybe he doesn't realize how early the third was. I guess he did see it finishing warping in, but Viking over here going to try to shoo away this warp prism again. Actually, MVP Viking this game, really. Funny how a single unit can really kind of shut down the other player's entire plan, really. But again, the warp prism and all the units inside live. Come to think of it, we've barely had any units lost this game for as aggressive as a start as it was. So the push coming in now, he did decide to delay it kind of until +1 is finished. Oh, I guess he didn't have stem and combat shields either, so... Everything going to be finishing at once, but we do have Storm finish now, which is going to be a big help against these Marines. I kind of like Primal's chances, I think, but it sort of depends on how they're going to engage each other. Shakyor being very methodical, moving up just kind of one unit at a time, siege-wise. There is no observer here. So these Widow Mines could be a little bit of a problem, possibly. Warp Prism coming in from the back. I don't know where the other units, the other Zealots were, but they are gone now. So another little force from Shakyor coming out on the other side, going to try to pressure down this fourth, and he may well do it since the whole army is over here. Oh! I guess that was the Zealot drop that forced the mine to kill the tank. I think we caught that the last second. This force actually went straight into the main base, but with the cannon and a battery here, I don't know if there's going to be too much damage done. These Marauders should attack the fourth, but I don't think he's noticed it quite yet. Unfortunately, they're just going to be rallied into their death. A couple Widow Mines going off over here, killing some Zealots. An okay amount of damage being done. I think he killed a couple units, killed 7 workers, but... And Widow Mines are always annoying. But that one's not cloaked, so it will get cleaned up. So in the end, kind of no harm, no foul. The worker kills did put Shakyor up in army, but if Primal wants to, he can chrono boost his way right back into the lead, I believe. So a lot of smoke and not a lot of fire yet. Both players being very cautious, not getting too ahead of themselves. Raven barely gonna survive. Nice juke. Gonna make it back home too, I think. So this Terran army is starting to look pretty scary with these enhanced shockwaves. Only 4 Templar, and they are not in the prism. So if he gets good EMPs off on these, that can kind of really hamper the Protoss ability to fight. I think there's still at least 2 storms left. And it looks like Primal decides he wants to take this fight. A really good arc by Shakyor. Got tanks in the back. There's one pretty good storm, but no units actually die. A little bit of a misrally, losing 4 or 5 units for free over there. So I think there's one storm left in this army. Was Primal going to commit? That would be really scary. I think he should, just try to focus that down. If he commits and gets surrounded, he could lose basically everything. Still 1 storm left. A little bit unfortunate on these EMPs. Because I think he's used like 5 and there's still a storm left over. So a few Zealots snuck up into the natural, getting a few worker kills. Always nice, but again, not game ending. What are our upgrades? 1-to-1 versus about to be +2 armor on Primal. Is this prism finally gonna fall? Yes! been alive for a long time. So Shakyor moving out. He doesn't have his tanks with him. He left his tanks at home. But he does have quite a few EMPs saved up. And there's about 4 or 5 storms in this army now. And that one's a whiff. I don't think that hit anything. Lots of stalkers, which I'm not sure if that's the best play. Sniping a Templar, that's always a nice move. Couple feedbacks. Blanketing this whole army in EMPs. There was still 1 storm left, but all the Templar kind of run forward to their death. Another pretty good storm. And this is a pretty chewed up Terran army, but also a pretty chewed up Protoss army. Would have liked to see an overcharge just to regenerate some shields there, but yeah, Medevac's running a little bit low on energy. It'd be scary to push with this many low units. We do have disruptors on the field. A good choice against Ghost because EMPs are not as effective. I do have Tempests on the way, interestingly enough. I guess they are going to be useful against these Liberators, which I just now noticed, so good call. So going to try to slowly siege his way forwards. Looks like he's thinking about bringing the rest of his army over here or over onto the other side. Decent storm there, but this is a really dangerous spot. Clears out 1 mine there. Both players on 4 bases, about the same amount of workers, so I think the advantage is slightly in Shakyor's favor. He's got a little bit bigger army, and well, after he kills this Nexus, it's going to be heavily in Shakyor's favor. Thinking about pulling the whole army, but you know you can't do that. He does get the Nexus, and he's going to be able to kill all these Zealots too. Rebuilding the Nexus immediately, but I don't think that's going to be very safe. Tempest in here now can finally clear out these Liberators. Bioforce is eventually going to be cleaned up, I think, but they've got so much value. Killed so many units over here. Another little fight over here. I saw a storm. Looks like we missed it a little bit. Great value from these Tempests. Going to lose 1 and 2, I think. While dropping into the natural. Kind of falling apart for Primal. It's kind of tough to defend on all sides at once, but he's losing a huge amount of his economy at this point. Looks like he is going to be able to clean up this left side. Going to have to try to run back here and save what he can. He's going to have the army supply advantage for a little while. So let's see if he goes straight across the map and can get some damage done, maybe. And if you play Protoss, this is the most annoying thing in the world. Having Medevacs just drop back and forth over something like this. So finally going to clean that up. Very small army advantage, and I guess it's no longer there either. So let's see if he tries to go across the map and get some counter damage done. He's got a lot of technicality to this army. Shakyor on the other side producing Vikings now. We got Liberator range on the way. But I feel like Primal, even if he doesn't necessarily get any direct damage done, he just needs the pressure to be on the other side of the map to allow himself to macro a little bit and catch up. So tectonic destabilizers on the way. Getting up to 4 Tempest, and there's a lot more static defense back here at home. So it looks like we could be in another weird base trade sort of situation. Let's see if either player decides to turn back. Maybe if you're Primal, you try to nuke down this command center and then recall. It's a possibility. Oh, unfortunately, Tempest's going to be caught immediately and killed. And he recalled some of his army, but didn't get the biggest portion of it. And also worth noting, he didn't actually even kill this CC, so losing the Nexus, not killing the CC, not what you want, ideally. Shakyor got a strong position up at the top of this ramp. Primal deciding he's going to try to push on through it. Lots of damage being done by these Liberators. Also, there's the drop in the main at the same time. Oh no, Primal running back through the Liberator zones. And this game is starting to lean heavily towards Shakyor's favor. Just a little bit of infrastructure damage being done. He's going to take out Templar Archives, which could be a big deal. Not sure what this CC is doing. I think it's been hotkeeyed with the army or something on accident. Still units up here doing damage. So Primal not willing to give it up yet. He does still have a pretty strong army, but his economy is very weak, so he needs to find some damage here. Only at 34 workers, and all of his bases are basically mined out. So I think really his only chance is to go across the map and kill this base and this base. I think he has to kill both of them. Instead, he's going to try to retake this Nexus. I don't think I agree with that strategy, because I think Shakyor is mining off so much. Primal doesn't 100% know, but he should know at least there's this base because of the sensor tower. He might not really have a clue about this base over here, but fighting his way across the map now. Let's see what sort of damage he can get done. This is still a lot of Vikings, and there's only one storm, really. And yeah, I think the Vikings are going to probably clean out most of the technical units in the air, and that'll probably be the GG. So getting a decent amount of damage done on this bio by the Colossus, but in the end, there's enough to kind of stem up that ramp, and that is the win for Shakyor. So, a longer game for sure, but an impressive victory for Shakyor. I think both players were in a good position macro-wise, and Shakyor just able with those drops and run-bys and things to get enough damage done to kind of win the war of attrition in the end. So I'll put Shakyor up 2-1. And, yeah. We'll see what the next map is. Alright, straight into it. On to map 4. So, spawning on the bottom right corner of Submarine. Playing for Team Phoenix, we do have our Orange Terran, who is on match point. It is Shakyor. Spawning in the top left corner of Submarine, playing for Platinum Heroes. Green Protoss, fighting to stay in it. He is Primal. So I think usually Protoss hate this map against Terran. Just because the rush distance is so small. It takes, only... Well, I don't know the exact number. A relatively small number of seconds, natural to natural, with any sort of push. So again, not going to have the parting opener. Which I don't blame him. I think there's like very few good proxy spots on this map, honestly. Primal coming in scouting, not seeing anything too interesting. Should be assuming there's going to be a CC thrown down. See if he tries to delay it. Not really. So it's going to be coming down basically right on time. And SCV's in here, not going to see anything interesting over here either. So us, on the other hand, we get to see something a little interesting. It's a very early tech lab, so since there's no barracks, there's no second barracks, nothing proxied out on the map, I'm assuming this is a very early stim. No, it is concussive shells. Okay. I was thinking usually if there's concussive shells this early, it's going to be 2 barracks. And a lot of times with the proxies barracks. So coming in to confirm the command center, he's not going to be able to see the researching tech lab, I don't believe. Following it up with 2 more barracks, so this is definitely going to be a strong 3 racks pressure. Primal going for a Stargate this game. Could be really helpful if he gets out a Void Ray or 2 to help defend against this push. If it goes Phoenix, I think Phoenix are not great against 3 racks. Just because you run out of energy kind of too quickly. So this first push could be a little bit of a bother, but not going to kill too much, but he should probably be able to kill both of these Adepts. No, Shakyor playing it safe. Just poking and prodding at the front. And it is Void Rays. So I'm wondering if this is going to be the Void Ray Adepts all in. We see Glaives, we'll know that's what it is. Missile turrets pretty early from Shakyor. He definitely didn't scout that, did he? So wonder if he's just fearing DTs again, or if this is just a safety thing. Yeah, we do have Glaives, so I think this is going to be like, I think it's like 6 gate Glaives with a couple Void Rays thrown in. First time I saw this build was from Zhaon in one of the GSLs on this map, I believe. Maybe just 4 gate Glaives. Not building any extras, but can be pretty strong. You basically shade in on top of whatever army they have with a just metric ton of Glaive Adepts, and then come in with the Void Rays and target down priority targets. So he's moving it out now with 8 Adepts, 3 Void Rays. That's pretty scary. Especially because it's a pretty Marauder heavy army, so the Void Ray is actually going to do well, for sure. Kind of showing his hand a little bit early to kill that Marine. Not sure if that's worth it. Let's see if that leads to any additional turrets up front. Not yet. So Shakyor's seen that there's no third Nexus. He's seen that there is... I think he's seen there's more than 1 Void Ray. He should have an idea what's coming for him, but I'm not quite sure if he's ready. No bunker up front. Just now starting a missile turret. The Adepts shading on in. They're actually trying to shade past a little bit. Decent focus fire on these Void Rays. Adepts not quite getting their job done, but they're going to get it done eventually here. probes starting, or SCVs starting to fall. The missile turret does finish, so the Void Rays are going to have to find somewhere else to get their damage done. Decent number of SCVs have fallen so far. Oh, I need to get that out of there. But it looks like this is going to be a hold for Shakyor. And all said and done, the third base never started for Primal. And he's only ahead by 4 workers, so it's actually still a pretty good position for Shakyor. He took some damage, but he's up to 5 racks now. Going to be getting out those medevacs. Got +1 armor on the way. Is +1 weapons finished? Yeah. So going to be having an upgrade advantage. Going to be having probably an army supply advantage here in a second. And Primal got some damage done, but I don't know if that was enough damage. I would be a little bit scared in his position. Personally, I would like to see some shield batteries at least. But Primal seems a little bit hesitant to build shield batteries. We've seen him a couple games struggle against pushes, not having enough shield batteries, not using overcharge. I don't think I've seen him use overcharge once this series. A little bit strange. So no third CC yet on the way for Shakyor. Looks like we're going to be trying to hit a 1-1 timing, I think. And it's going to be pretty strong. A decent amount of gateway units out for Primal, and he's going to be able to keep building quite a few with those 4 gates, but he has no upgrades and no shield batteries, which I think means he's going to get rolled over. Is there boys with this? Yeah, there's boys. Pull in the boys. So not going to be seen until the last second here. He's got, I think he's only got 1 sentry, so he's not really going to be able to stop this fight from happening. Again, no shield batteries to fall back to. This is just a ton of Terran. This is a huge army. So Void Rays getting up on the high ground, trying to hide as best they can. There's not a ton of Marines in this army. If he can find a way to snipe off a decent amount of the Marines, he might take this fight. Unfortunately, production at the front is going to be going down here in a second, which is actually going to make it pretty hard to keep reinforcing. Decent Stalker Micro over here, but there's just too many Stimmed Marauders with a 2 upgrade advantage. I think all the Void Rays have died at this point, and despite using all of his workers in the fight, I do believe Shakyor is going to be able to take this game and the series. GG. So that is a 3-1 victory for Shakyor. Had some exciting games for sure.